public housing asset I'm gonna lay out right here, but I'm gonna detail it up to make it look like a really dodgy motel. Like they probably got them prostitutes and that cocaine. Welcome back to Viridian County. I am Red Kool-Aid. On our last episode, we built Camden. It's a neighborhood just in our kind of outside our old town. We built a cool Stag Jam Jazz Club. And this episode, we need to build another one of our cool micro communities. It's not going to be an extra busy build. It will be busier than the Vineyard build. But what I wanted to do on this episode was I wanted to use some assets that I actually used on a previous city, but this was before I was doing a series. I want to use some of these lobster fishing assets, and I want to create like a little crab fishing, lobster fishing town, just fishing in general. I did look up some stuff on Google. This for like the maybe second time in my YouTube career, and I'm actually going to draw not total inspiration, like I'm not following no road network that I see on Google Earth or something, but it was just a couple of shots I saw on Google Images that I thought were kind of dope. And I was like, yo, if I can have me a street like this, or, you know, little pieces of assets and things like this, I thought, you know, it might be dope. So we definitely gonna implement some of that. Right now, you could just see me laying out. It's a really tight, small community, just a little road network. Like I said, it's a crab fishing community.
I caught crabs in paradise. Yes, I mean both kinds of crab.
So we'll definitely use, you know, some crab fishing as much as we can anyway, assets and things to kind of make that feeling come across. Oh yeah, and a really dope mural. Definitely gonna put a dope mural up. Right now I'm just laying out the assets for the little small city center. You can see I ran that tunnel through the mountain, completely unnecessary. Definitely not the most cost-effective way. I did that just for style. Right now, you can see me kind of dragging a bridge across to this little man-made island. Whoa, I dropped the whole island under the water. We got to get that up. I wanted to have a functional fishing dock on this little piece of land. It's going to be a very small asset that I found on the workshop, but it functions like a vanilla fishing dock. I don't think it might not have as many workers. I'm not sure. But it's definitely... It lets me keep the community small. Trying to put one of those outrageous sized vanilla fishing harbor assets wasn't gonna work for this area. Even aesthetically, it's like it's too industrial looking. I wanted to go for something low key. I'm gonna lay down some breakwater rocks. Y'all hang out. Use some of these bigger rock assets to kind of break up the monotony of the breakwater rocks. Make sure I can recolor those so they match. Just kind of wrap them around the bridges. Just put them in random areas. It's not going to be too many. And I'm going to use a couple of the larger rocks on the outskirts. Right now you can see on the screen, this is kind of my inspiration for the housing. You can see the old docks and that tunnel shot. Definitely going for that. You know, definitely going to do that. So here's some shantytown docks I found on the workshop. We're gonna have to alter them a little bit, but they're not really functional anymore. They're just, people haven't torn them down. And here I'm gonna connect up this tunnel. Like I said, that's just because I wanted traffic to come down that main street through that mountain. It's not the best way if we were going for functionality over form. But as I told you, sometimes with this series, you'll see me go straight form. And I'm not so much worrying about, you know, is this the most efficient route? I am going to run another path out of town because you don't want to have one way in your town. What if that tunnel shut down? People will be trapped. Also, I double stacked this Salvation Army asset. You'll see what I do with the bottom part of that in the detail, and I go crazy. So I'm going to start putting some of these the bigger New England houses to kind of line the downtown. But the houses, it's going to be a lot of really low residential. I'm going to use one of these smaller shantytown joints. And you can see me here. I'm using some other wall assets to kind of make it all the way wrap around. There's a lot of holes and things in those shantytown docks. So I wanted to fill that in. I'm going to lay out a few more commercial assets to make sure our citizens of this little district don't have to drive all the way into the main town. And here I'm using some of these Cleveland homes to kind of, this is the edge of the community. You know, you either stay in one of these or you stay right in that little city center. Also, above the tunnel. Again, going back to my inspirational pictures of, that's an Alaskan fishing town. They had some houses above the tunnel. I need to actually raise these up a little bit, but you know, it has the look. I just need to bob off some of these random hedges and things. Get this out of here. Mailboxes, doghouse. I don't need none of that. Put some of these up here, and I'm going to kind of angle this one so it's a little bit weird. I don't want it to be, you know, I want it to look kind of haphazard, like they built this stuff, you know, just trying to jam everybody kind of close together. And I'm going to have to constantly, over this episode, kind of terraform this mountain. It never ends up looking good as I want it, but I'll keep messing with it till I get the kind of overall shape that I want. And I'm going to put a few more small residential joints on the hill. Also, there's a public housing asset I'm going to lay out right here, but I'm going to detail it up to make it look like a really dodgy motel. Like they probably got them prostitutes and that cocaine. Stay tuned. It's gonna take a lot of like assets and like decks, and I'm gonna reuse some of the shantytown joints to kind of create some decks because we're building on some weird levels here. You can see it's just like a straight drop off, so we're gonna have to kind of hide and disguise all that. I'm failing right now at spinning this deck around, but we're gonna use some bushes and just stuff to hide all that, the imperfections. It'll look cool from a distance, and that's all I really want. Right now I'm gonna use one of the shantytown joints, and I'm gonna make like a really long deck, kind of boardwalk slash deck, a deck walk, I don't know, but it goes past all these houses. So you could walk basically like out your door, you can walk to your neighbor house, you can borrow a microwave.
My microwave?
Yeah.
You know, you could borrow some Kool-Aid. What flavor Kool-Aid? Red. So I actually did come up with a name for the community before I started building it. I'm gonna call it Ravens Reach, and I looked it up because I was thinking, I don't think ravens be near the water like that. They be like with Brandon Stark and them. So I don't know, but I looked it up. You can find them in rocky coastal areas, and if it's one thing we got, is rocks. Over here we got them breakwaters are jumping off. Right now I'm setting a bunch of policies to make this community kind of function how I want to. We're gonna set some old town stuff. I don't want a lot of folk driving back here because I'm gonna put a few park assets, but y'all know how much I hate the way tourists work in this game. Again, there should be different levels. If you're in the city, you might drive out here to get, some lobster bisque, but you're not driving from out of town to come hang around like the Frank's fish sticks. That's not realistic. I'm sure Frank's fish sticks be bussing, but you're not driving miles. You're not taking a train. Like, how good are these fish sticks? I don't know. We're going to bob off all this nonsense that we don't need because that's a tight space, pause, and we need to get in there and detail that up. Also, right here, I just had the inspiration to just make a piece of this. It's just going to be a bridge for no reason. Like, the land's going to be messed up right there, and there was no way to build a road. So, you know, let's go ahead and use our node controller to slope that, and we're just going to kind of we're gonna mess up the land a little bit right here. Like they would have liked to make it just one flat thing, but nah, fam. The land was like, nah, fam. Jumping back out to our little man-made island, I'm gonna add a little bit more. Now that I have the general shape, I don't really like the way the land just dies like that. So we're gonna kind of use our elevation tools to kind of make it look like a little shape, little slopage, and we're gonna fill in where the breakwaters aren't exactly flush to the shore anymore. That happens when you mess with the elevation. Oh, everything flooded. I should have knew that was gonna happen. I should have knew that was gonna happen when I took it off pause. This is, why do I play on pause so much, yo? Come on. God save the queen. Anyway, I'm gonna use one of these little disaster centers. I've never done this, but I read online that they rebuild the buildings, so we don't have to redo that ourselves.
98.5 City Sounds. I saw on the gram it's a big flood in Ravens Reach. Man, we got people calling in. Yo, bro, tell me what you saw.
Yo, bro, I was standing right there, man. I seen everything. It was moist. It was hella moist. I seen dude drive straight through the water like he was Aquaman, yo. It was crazy.
So we got our rescue workers out on the scene now, and they're rebuilding. So, you know, I don't have to rebuild. Okay, well, that didn't go according to plan. So I'm going to use some of the same kind of ideas, one of the same ideas from Harper's Ferry. The fishing dock out there had like a little boat parking thing. And I'm going to reuse the lobster pot. Again, I feel like in our city, this is a chain lobster. Well, they ain't a chain, but there's a couple of them. You can get your fish sandwich here and cross town. You just got to place your order. It's available on Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub. Tap in, holla at your boy. So we're going to use our shantytown dock and reuse this sign I made using PO, kind of amplify the lobster pot. And I'm going to take a little moment to put down some services. So I'm going to lay a fire department right here next to the tunnel. Also, I want to do something a little interesting with the police station. I don't have a block asset for the police station. All I have is this really small one. So I'm going to use a Kniff auto parts joint. And I'm going to kind of cover it up. We're going to do a little cover up. Don't tell nobody. And I'm going to use a couple assets to kind of bring that out. Little police sign, little PO. I hope by watching this, if you're a person that doesn't ever use PO, you can see how handy it is. Because actually on this next thing right here, we PO in that. Because this mural, this isn't a crab fishing mural. This isn't a lobsterman's mural. We need something that matches the area. So we're going to make this one bigger, and we're going to jump over to Photoshop. And we're going to use our little PO. And we're going to make something that matches the swag of the town. The people in this town, they get their fish. They get them crabs. They be on that dock. So, yeah, there we go. We can switch that up. We got my boy Juan Carlos right there, you know what I'm saying, on the dock in the old school days. You know what I'm saying? Juan Carlos used to really get that fish money, that crab money. You know what I'm talking about? So you can see our citizens moving in. Everybody starting. I hate that people are walking back here. It's really annoying. But they're moving in. It's good stuff. Oh, and the last sort of service-related thing. No, I do need to put a pharmacy in. But before we do all that, I told you I wanted to put a fishing dock out here on this island. And this is that little tiny, minimal dock asset. It will spawn a boat. But I'm going to have to do some Harry Houdini with these paths because I'm in a funny spot. You can see I put it's in a funny spot. So I'm going to loop this up. Fast motion. And I'm gonna have to use some move it and all types of trickery to get this. No. Just wrap it around. Come on. There we go. See, this I'm using my thinking cap. I'm just gonna keep moving these nodes to where they will let me do what I want. Okay, you still playing? All right, cool. All right, move you back. Bam. Come on. All right. So yeah, now the boat will take a little loop, and I downloaded a bunch of smaller assets off the workshop that look like more small town fishing industry. I didn't really want the giant fancy Gilligan's Island joints. I wanted like there's a couple joints off Grand Theft Auto. It's some cool assets on the workshop when you really get to looking for individual stuff. Like if you have the idea, somebody has made something that you can kind of work to make your original. Even if it's not exact, you can get it close. And that's really one of the things I like about Skylines. If you got the time, you can build whatever you want. You can play whatever kind of game you want. Today I woke up and said I'm going to build a really small crab fishing community, and voila, here we go. So I'm going to do some detailing. The detailing lapse is a little long. I'm not going to hold you. We're going to show a quick progression first though. You can see where we started and kind of where we ended up. I think everything came out pretty good.
Of the city with DJ MIrco.
X, sad. R.I.P. X, man. He was a real one.
Suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm sorry, oh yeah.
98.5 City Sound.
I'm not afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Yeah, suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm silent, oh yeah. I'm silent, oh yeah. I'm not afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Yeah, suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm silent, oh yeah. I'm silent, oh yeah. I'm not afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Yeah, suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm silent, oh yeah. I'm silent, oh yeah. I'm not afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Yeah, suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm silent, oh yeah. I'm silent, oh yeah. I'm not afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Yeah, suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm silent, oh yeah. I'm silent, oh yeah. I'm not afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Yeah, suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm silent, oh yeah. I'm silent, oh yeah. I'm not afraid to let go. You decide if you ever gonna let me know. Yeah, suicide if you ever try to let go.
All right, and that pretty much brings us to the end. I wanted to highlight a few things. You can see here I made a little kind of fake boat slip. I put a little camping, maybe they stay on these islands for a while and get lobster money and get crab money. Maybe they don't go home every day. They might be out here on some broke back. We don't know, and we ain't judging. Do your thing, Luke Kane. But yeah, you can see here I just used some of the reeds, some of the grass, a couple of the trees. It took forever for the island to dry out so the trees wouldn't all be bare. But they're still they're a little skimp, but it's okay. Right there you can see kind of in the rocks, I laid some of the lobster traps down and stuff. Also, over here, oh, this shantytown dock had like a little bait stand thing on it. I thought that was really cool, so I wanted to keep that on there. The Frank's fish sticks, you can see I built that kind of back parking lot. Also, I used one of our little bus stop assets. And you see I built that little top part, little railing up there. If you're too rowdy, that's where you sit. Oh, also the Aldi's is functional. I found this asset. It looks like a storefront, but it actually functions. So let's rename that. And that was that double stack. Oh yeah, the pigeon coops on the side. Y'all put the pigeon coops on the roof. You know how them hood dudes, they be training them pigeons. I don't know what that's about. But here I use some of my other PO assets that I made using assets from the workshop, like the boots. I put a pharmacy behind there you might have saw in the laps. And I made sure to try to use as many like fish market assets, even though Tony Luke's isn't. He got, maybe he has a fish sub. They got them cheesesteaks and them fish subs. I don't know how that works. And you can see our little boat parking thing. Boy, you almost skimped that car, didn't you, family? Slow down. Police, 12 tripping. The lobster pot, I finished all that with the walls, and there's our little seedy motel I was telling you about. There's some shenanigans going on in that motel, yo, like hourly shenanigans going on. And I need to put some bushes back here. You see how you can see that little See, this is why you fly around your city, so you can see the little imperfections. We're gonna fill that in. But yeah, that pretty much, I think. Oh yeah, the little eatery, Mel's Eatery, yo. When I was living in England, we lived above this little, it was like really a house or something, but they used to make these fire egg sandwiches. I'm like, yo, I want to make one of them little eateries. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think the angles came out. That looks exactly how I wanted it to look. I'm so happy at how this turned out, yo. I really like it. Stay tuned for Quick Ting cinematics. Quick Ting. Episode seemed really short, but it's kinda not. But I want to thank y'all for liking. I want to thank y'all for subscribing. I want to thank y'all for hitting that notification bell, because you know you did. I want to thank y'all for tuning in, because you could have watched anybody build anything, but you came through and tapped in with your boy Red Kool-Aid, and I appreciate that. This is Viridian County. I am Red Kool-Aid. I will see y'all next time.